know about you is that you have ambition to be great. My job is to coach you to get all that greatness out of you.
Oh, my mic was muted. Oh, and it was such a great intro. What's good, Fin Nation? What's good? It's your boy Reason. We are back here for another one. I know a lot of you Heat fans y'all are feeling it right now. Y'all are loving life and everything about it right now because y'all won your first round game. Your game one of the first round. Man, my original intro was way smoother than this. And I'm over here as a Raptors fan. It ain't the same kind of love being reciprocated to me in the NBA playoffs so far. But hey, at least the Raptors are in the playoffs. You know what I'm saying, Dolphin fans? So you ain't going to hear a complaint from me. At least they made it. Hope y'all are enjoying your Easter. You had a good weekend with the family. Whatever y'all got up to this weekend. I hope it was pleasant. I hope you enjoyed your Easter egg hunts. You know, I'm a sucker for Cadbury cream eggs. I went to get some final purchases for the kids' Easter yesterday, and I was like, you know what? I haven't had Cadbury cream eggs in a couple of years. I'll go grab myself a 3-pack, and there were none. It was totally everything was sold. This guy, the watch Mr. Bro. Really? We're gonna do that on this day. So the watch Mister, he donated $9.99 just to say Dan Marino is greater than Jesus. So there you go. Shout out to the watch Mister. Had to put me in this situation on Sunday on Easter. Man, I'll tell you one thing. You can't scroll by Twitter without, bro, everyone. I feel like Easter Sunday is Easter Sunday is to Christians what draft day has been to Dolphin fans over the last couple of years when we had multiple picks in the first round. Because, I mean, you can't scroll without seeing he is risen. It's crazy. It's crazy. But, hey, man, teach their own. Do what you got to do. Whether you believe in the bunny, whether you believe in Jesus, whatever your case may be is, I wish you nothing but the best of weekends celebrating however you celebrate. Let's put it that way. Florida born, happy birthday to you, bro. Happy Easter, sorry, bro. Jesus would have, I don't know, watch Mr. Jesus, according to Robert, Jesus would have won us a bowl. So you got some, Dan Marino apparently got some competition out here, bro. But what basically is going to happen, guys, we got a couple stories I want to go over. Christian Wilkins, I had an update on the Patreon about it, and there's an article about it too. I want to talk about Christian Wilkins a little bit. Some interesting, you know, it kind of correlates a little bit to why they might be sitting on their money a little bit right now. Going to talk about Matt Patricia. Apparently, he was a real big driving force for the Patriots pushing for DVP. Interesting play action stats regarding Tua Tagovailoa and how he performs in play action situations, correlating into an interesting article by JoeyShotz regarding, you know, what would be in terms of Tua this year. You know, everyone's saying a prove it year. Well, okay, what exactly is a prove it year? So I want to read the article to you and get your guys' thoughts on what a prove it year would be to you guys. And then on top of that, we're going to get into my big board. We're going to do my top 10 centers. There's no honorable mentions. I'm going to tell you off the rip, do not like the class very much. Fine with like the first 5 guys, 6 guys, but after that, man. And even still, like I really only like the top 4 guys a lot. You know, it's not really a strong class. Now there's more than 10 guys, like and there's a couple I left off because I have them as guards, not centers. Shout out to Steven who sent a 20. Let me get this. He sent me a $25 donation. And he said, fins up. Appreciate you, Steven. Thank you very much, sir. He sent that through PayPal. You can send it through any donations you like through PayPal, or you can send them directly through the super chat. Become a member, become a Patreon. These are the type of videos that got monetized. Literally, I'm sitting there finishing chopping the film a couple nights ago. Okay, it's like 2 a.m. in the morning, and it's Friday, I think. Yeah, it's Friday night. These guys don't sleep on Good Friday. I'm getting notifications on Good Friday that they're still demonetized. I'm still getting hit by this XOS Digital Sports for using their all 22 on my running back video. I'm like, man, that video has been up for how many weeks right now? So it's ridiculous, man. It's ridiculous. Like a company out there actually demonetizing creators because they use the all 22 that they filmed. Give me a break. Seriously? Unbelievable. It's ridiculous. So I do appreciate any and all donations that go towards these type of videos. They do help out. So, let's it's real interesting. There's something I did want to talk about before we get into everything too here. If you've been following me, a guy who I wanted just as badly as Tua Tagovailoa coming out of the draft was Kyler Murray. I love Kyler Murray. Okay. I don't like his attitude that I've seen over the past couple of years. Let me say that. But Kyler Murray, the football player, I love. All right. And I know now it's should the Dolphins chase Kyler Murray? Listen, I love Kyler Murray more than any Dolphin fan over here. But can we just let this year play out? First of all, I don't think Kyler Murray's getting traded this year, even if he does hold out. Second of all, let's just roll with what we got. Let's see how this plays out. Let's see if Tua turns the corner because he's still on a cheap contract and he's not out here demanding an extension. Let's see how it plays out. I'm getting a little bit tired of the insert any potentially, even if it's a sliver of a chance, quarterback's name here for the 22. Like, guys, just let it play out. I love Kyler Murray, and I get it. Some people say he's overrated. I see it already in the chat. That's cool. Everyone has their own opinion. I love Kyler Murray. And I think he would be crazy good in McDaniel's offense. But you know what? I think Tua can be crazy good in McDaniel's offense. I think Tua can give us top 12 play at the position in McDaniel's offense. That's all I need. Okay. We had the best quarterback. We were just talking about him in the NFL, potentially ever to lace up a pair, and we didn't win anything. So I'm not stuck in this highlight reel mentality. I'll say it again. I've said it before. I'll say it again. To me, you need efficiency. Why do you think Tom Brady is the greatest of all time? The two main ingredients to his recipe for success is elite efficiency and super high football IQ. Those are the two main ingredients. And then everything else is just salt for tasting and just on top of it. Like when you have chicken in a chicken noodle soup, the chicken and the noodles are the main ingredient, but maybe you got some peppers and some onions in there. That's what everything else is. The accuracy, he doesn't have a rocket of an arm, but he's really accurate. So the accuracy would be like the carrots in the chicken noodle soup, et cetera, et cetera. But the chicken and the noodles is elite efficiency and a super high football IQ. That is why he has been able to win more than a more talented guy like Aaron Rodgers. He's far more efficient than Aaron Rodgers is, especially in playoffs. That's just what it is. That's all I need. All I need is a guy with a high football IQ in the system we run and who gives me really efficient to elite efficient quarterback play. We get that. We are gravy train. We are gravy train. Okay. All the games people tried to fall in love with Mac Jones and make him out into this big thing, or when they were trying to cherry pick some of his more efficient moments. Tua's had efficient moments as well. But efficiency, efficiency, efficiency. Don't give me this highlight reel bullshit. Efficiency, efficiency, efficiency. That's what will win Super Bowls, period, at that position. And guess what? If you are very efficient or have elite efficiency, when you have elite weapons around you, that is when the numbers and the success goes through the roof. So what I'm saying is, if we see Tua dial back the interceptions, dial back the dumb throws, read all three levels a little bit consistently more. Also, consistently, if he's going to predetermine reads, because you just can't avoid, you're going to predetermine reads more than multiple times in a game. Be consistently better at predetermining his reads, i.e., don't throw to a man over in double coverage in the corner of the end zone when you got a tight end running a slant or a drag over the middle with no linebacker or safety help. You go to the drag or the slant. You do not predetermine to the far right corner in double coverage. Okay? Those type of things. He cleans that stuff off. We're rolling, baby. We are rolling. So, and here's another thing. Can I say this again? Remember, I like Kyler. Why is Kyler so eager to get paid? Like, someone explain this to me. Bro, TV deals are coming down the pipeline in 2 years. The cap's about to skyrocket in 2 years. What are you in a rush for, dude? What are you in a rush? The money you were to sign right now would technically in 2 years be a deal compared to market value. Like, who's telling these people this stuff too? Like, sometimes you got to think about the agents and the family members. Who gets in these guys' kids' ears? Because they're kids, man. These guys are in their mid-20s making these type of decisions. Who's getting their ears telling them this stuff? I'm telling them, bro, get this team to the playoffs. Get this team to the playoffs and get your money in 2 years, man. Go get that. We can, if you get me a couple playoff wins over the next couple of years, we could probably, and you keep your trajectory upwards as a player, we could potentially reset the market in 2 years. What are we waiting for here, bro? See, and I get what you're saying. You might be afraid he will get hurt or have a down year. Then you ain't a baller, bro. You can't be thinking about that. You got to be thinking about you're going to go on the field and I'm going to make this team pay me. I'm going to make this team pay me. That's what you need to have the mentality. I'm going to go out there and I'm going to make them pay me. Because Kyler can be special in this league, man. Honestly, I think Cliff Kingsbury needs to go too. I think they need a coaching change over there. But he's got weapons, man. So, but I'd be, if I was Kyler, I'd be getting my money now and I'd be go win some playoff games and go reset the market after winning some playoff games. Like, your mind should be on getting better and winning some games, not getting paid prematurely. When even if you don't reset the market in 2 years, you're probably going to get paid more than what you're getting paid right now if you were to get handled. Yeah, exactly. Grown Gray. Cliff Kingsbury, I'm not a big fan of. He gets figured out pretty easily, and then he seems like the stubborn cat that just doesn't want to adjust. You know what I mean? He doesn't want to adjust what he's got to do to win. When you got to stray away from your bread and butter and you got to do other things, he just doesn't seem like that guy. I'm not a fan of him, to be honest with you. So that's where I'm at with Kyler. I love Kyler, but focus on getting your dubs before you focus on getting your dollar signs, bro. Especially when financially it makes sense to wait it out anyways. Like I've said, cap's going to go up astronomically in the next 2 years. It could go up $20 to $40 million minimum if new deals come in with these new gambling, with the gambling stuff going on, everything like that. So don't even worry about that money, bro. Just go get wins and go better your positioning as one of the better quarterbacks in the NFL. He's got all the tools, man. He's got all the tools. So that's another thing, yo. We put listen, we put Tua through all this, and the thing is, even if he balled out and we got top 12 play this year and we won 2 playoff games, I could guarantee you next offseason we wouldn't be hearing nothing about Tua wants to get paid now. Oh, Tua gave them the work. He wants paid now. We wouldn't hear none of that stuff, man. None of that stuff. Again, I truly think if another reason why I think it would all be beneficial if Tua does turn out to be the franchise quarterback we all hope he can become, he ain't going to break our bank. I don't think he would bend us over financially, man. And I think he would make it work with us. So that's why I'm hoping, I really don't think he would, he would be gouging us like this, and even after how we've treated him as a franchise, and some fans too, but fans in the franchise have treated him like some people in the franchise and some people in the fan base. Oh man, crazy, man, crazy. But back to the whole original point here. Listen, I love Kyler as much as the next guy, but let's halt the brakes. Tua is our quarterback in 2023. He's gonna get the 3rd year. People need to move on with their lives. Just because there's whispers of a new quarterback being available potentially does not mean the Dolphins are automatically tied to it. So please stop with this. Not only from a creator standpoint, but from a fan standpoint. Just like we got sick of hearing Watson, we're sick of hearing this narrative, man. We really are. Because we all know it ain't happening this year, this offseason. We know how it's going down. Tua will be the starting quarterback in 2023. His destiny, his fate as the starting quarterback of the Miami Dolphins is in his own control, in his own hands. It is up to him to seal the deal. He controls his fate, and they put them in that position by surrounding him with a good coaching staff and a lot of talent around him offensively. So he knows it's on him. We've heard him say that in interviews. Personally, I think it's Georgia all over again. He walks in and he delivers, baby, when we need him to. So I'm fully expecting top 12 play, and if we don't get it from Tua Tagovailoa this year, I'll be supremely disappointed in him. But I see it happening. So that's how I see it going down, man. I think people just need to get off the quarterback. It's not happening. Get it out of your system, right? So let's get into some things here, guys. Let's start off with Christian Wilkins. Interesting thing about Christian Wilkins. I actually updated on the Patreon. I'll read to you what I said on the Patreon. But there was a Dolphins Q&A article on April 15th, Friday. And it was said, is Christian Wilkins next in line for a multi-year extension? And the question was asked, is there any chatter about a Christian Wilkins extension? His draft class is going to blow up the DT market. Him, Jeffrey Simmons, Dexter Lawrence, Quinnen Williams, Ed Oliver. Would be a good idea to lock him in before any other guy starts signing deals. And this is from John Crones on Twitter. And this is what they said. There is such chatter. And around the time of the scouting combine in early March, a league source told the Sun Sentinel that a multi-year extension for Christian Wilkins is a goal before utilizing a 5th-year option by the May 2nd deadline. So under a month away. Such a deal could make Wilkins one of the NFL's 10 highest paid defensive tackles, and we'll get into that specifically in a second. Wilkins may actually set the market for the other defensive tackles from the 2019 draft mentioned more so than they would him, outside of maybe Jeffrey Simmons, which I agree with. Jeffrey is better, who was a Pro Bowl selection last year, a distinction Wilkins has yet to achieve. Quinnen Williams, Ed Oliver, and Dexter Lawrence have been solid, but not as consistently impactful as Wilkins, although Williams, the number 3 pick in the draft by the New York Giants, has provided the most in terms of pass rush with his 15.5 sacks over 3 seasons, 13 in the past 2 years. With the Bills, Oliver has also taken ahead of Wilkins and has been a liability in run defense. Lawrence with the Giants has not quite lived up to his billing as a top run stopper. Wilkins is coming off a third NFL season where he tied for the league leading tackles among defensive linemen. His 89 tackles tied Pittsburgh's Cameron Hayward for the most last season, which was the highest mark for any down lineman since 2013. 10 of those tackles for Wilkins went for a loss. And side note, what I love about that is he didn't do it in the option year. You know, you're seeing legitimate trajectory, legitimate steps forward from Christian Wilkins organically, not when, oh, the money's on the line. I got to play my heart out because the money's on the line. You're just seeing him get better and better every year. He had a heck of a year, said Dolphins general manager Chris Greer, when asked about the likelihood of picking up Wilkins' 5th-year option. I would say most likely, but we'll make that decision when we get to that. Wilkins, starting every game, also upped his pass rush in 2021 with a career-high 4.5 sacks, adding 13 quarterback hits, 4 pass deflections, a forced fumble, and a fumble recovery. Oh, and of course, a touchdown reception with an epic celebration that followed. Miami can't get an extension done before the May 2nd deadline for exercising the 5th-year option. It would likely use the 5th-year option, guaranteeing the former Clemson standout $10.069 million in 2023, a figure that is based on playing time the past 3 years and the average salary of the 3rd through 20th highest paid defensive tackles. A multi-year deal for Wilkins, who is slated to make $2.6 million in 2022, would likely earn him an annual salary in the $10 to $13 million range. The 5th-year option, which is only available for first-round picks, gives the Dolphins an extra season to get a deal done, but the multi-year extension would be more cap-friendly. The Dolphins, of course, have had many other various other maneuvers to prioritize its offseason before coming to Wilkins. They signed Taron Armstead, traded for Tyreek Hill, and added Raheem Mostert and Chase Edmonds in free agency, among other acquisitions. Miami gave cornerback Xavier Howard the extension he wanted, re-signed Emmanuel Logba, placed a franchise tag on tight end Mike Gesicki, among moves to keep the top returning players within the organization. Now let's talk about the money for a second here. So they say the $10 to $13 million range, which is true. So his cap number this year, his base salary is $2.6 million. He has 2.6 guaranteed. Now, when we talk about like the big time money players in terms of average annual salary per year, like just for an example, like Dalvin Tomlinson for the Vikings makes $10.5 million. You know what I mean? Akeem Hicks for the Bears makes about $12 million. Javon Hargrave for the Eagles makes $13 million. DJ Reader makes $13.25 million. Okay, so the comparison to Cameron Hayward, right? We if you look in the article here, right? Like they talked about his 89 tackles tied Cameron Hayward for most last season, right? Highest mark for any down lineman since 2013. For an example, just for an example, okay, Cameron Hayward, he averages about $16.4 million a year right now. So when you look at tackle numbers, that's a similar price tag as Cameron Hayward. And I know Cameron Hayward didn't block as many balls at the line of scrimmage that Wilkins did this year. All right. Now, obviously, he's not Vita Vea here at $17.75 million. Fletcher Cox makes $14 million this year too. Yeah, I really see him I really see the I know they say 10 to 13 here. I see more so 13 to 16 million dollars a year for Christian Wilkins. Because listen, we all wanted Christian Wilkins to take the step forward next year. He took it. He answered what everyone was asking him to do. Personally, I see him earning 13 to 16 million dollars a year. That's the number that makes the most sense to me right now, especially with the cap going up. So now everyone, and again, this affects Gesicki, who's on the franchise tag. Do they go the 5th-year option with Wilkins just to push his money down another year so they can fit Gesicki in? Storm Warriors says 4 years, $60 million. Guarantee about what, 50 of that? 46 to 50 of that guaranteed, probably. Guys, especially think about it right now. Listen, we didn't take care of Ogba last year. We took care of Jason Sanders and Jerome Baker before we took care of Ogba, and that bit us hard in the ass. I think we could have got Ogba at about 13, 14 million a year. I really honestly believe that. So that's where I'm at. I'm I don't know, man. You sit back and you think about this. It's going to be very interesting. And this is what I said on Patreon because it's been up there for a couple for a couple days now. So I'll let you guys know what was said on Patreon regarding Christian Wilkins. From what I heard, what I heard was this. First of all, don't expect obviously signing of Foster or Melvin Ingram at least until after the draft. The Dolphins want to let the draft process play out. And specifically with Christian Wilkins, I'm told they intend to roll over as much money as possible with the foresight that Wilkins will be up for a new contract, and if Gesicki performs to their expectations, there will be a decision to be needed to be made there. So they're already realizing Wilkins is up, and that's why I've been told they're sitting where they're sitting at in terms of cap space. They're planning on rolling some of that over because they want to pay Wilkins. So that's why they're loading up. I think that's why they're loading up on draft picks as well for next year's class, because they're sitting there like, yo, we're going to have to spend our money on bringing Wilkins back, and we're going to potentially have to bring Gesicki back as well. So that's just how it seems right now, that Wilkins is the priority even before Gesicki. So it's going to be interesting. I think he's going to be earning about 13 to 16 million dollars. That's the number, the figure that makes the most sense for me when I sit back and I think about this situation. Interesting story continuing on. If you remember the whole DVP, we were all like, wow, in interdivision trade. Well, it seems like the reason why it was potentially an interdivision trade was because Matt Patricia was all over it. And it says Matt Patricia attended the NFL owners meeting last month, possibly the only non-head coach among coaches in Palm Beach, Florida. But Patricia, whose official title is senior football advisor, is more than an assistant coach. Bill Belichick described Patricia's duties as very broad and said Patricia will help in a lot of ways. Patricia will coach on the offensive side of the ball, is working in player personnel, and will manage the team's salary cap. Matt Groh, the new director of player personnel, twice mentioned Patricia on Friday during a pre-draft news conference. He credited Patricia for the trade for receiver Devontae Parker from the Dolphins after Miami acquired Tyreek Hill. The Dolphins weren't just going to be able to keep everybody, and when a player became available, I would say Matt Patricia did a great job of being on that early and kind of getting the information to us as quickly as he could, Groh said. And we were in on that early, and it really came together well for us, and we're really excited about having Devontae here. It's becoming apparent that Patricia is playing and will play a big role in the building of the roster. So this wasn't a Belichick move. Matt Patricia was in love with Parker, saw Parker was available, made his move. And you know what's crazy is that makes sense. Patricia probably hit Parker up directly because Parker had the right to look for a trade. They probably spoke. If Patricia was pushing for him like this, Parker's probably going there because he feels wanted. Like I believe, we know the Packers and the Cowboys were all interested, but, the New England Patriots probably just made him feel wanted. And I guess, I don't know why he's feeling like he wasn't ever wanted for the amount of years he was here. The problem is we wanted him to be on the freaking field. And he just couldn't stay on the field. Listen, again, I go back to a couple years ago when Xavier Howard locked him down in training camp to the point the coaches thought he was killing Devontae Parker's confidence. I ain't worried about Devontae Parker this season with Mac Jones. I ain't worried about Wack Jones. I ain't worried about Devontae Parker and his hammies. I'm good. All right. We got a real receiver room now with a real veteran leading them and one of the best athletes in football leading them in Tyreek Hill. Okay. Now, not only can he teach guys like Waddle and Lynn Bowden how to be more explosive with the release packages, crisping out their route running, little nuances of using their body twitch, all that, but also Tyreek Hill can be a living and walking embodiment of availability is the best ability, because we sure as hell weren't getting it from Devontae Parker, a guy who a couple years ago, if people remember, heading into the 2018-2019 season, it was rumored he was staying late up all night and playing video games, unhealthy eating diet, wasn't taking his craft seriously, et cetera, et cetera. And it showed with how it was heading into the 2018 season. It showed with how long it took for him to put up an actual legitimate numbers. So I'm good on Devontae Parker going. I would rather those, we're not going to pay a wide receiver $4 or $5-6 million, and whatever those targets he'd get us for, I would rather they go to Lynn Bowden. Personally, shout out to Ian Baller. He says Wilkins scored more receiving touchdowns than Fuller, and he's a more dependable target than Devontae Parker when we asked him to play. Parker last year was only good for sideline back shoulder throws, really. Let's be honest with ourselves. 330 of you in the room. Go ahead, smash that like button. Guys, we are just over 350 away from 8,000. Smash that like button. Interesting thing I wanted to show you guys for play action. Tua Tagovailoa, when you actually just isolate his play action passes last year, he was 5th in completions. He was 5th in completion rate, and he was 8th in play action yards. Listen, for this offense that we're going to be running, this outside zone where we're going to be sending the flow of the game to one side, and then we're going to kick you back with the play action to the other side and try to catch a snooze and go over top of you. I'm telling you, man, especially with, just the threat with what we're going to be able to do with these 2 high shells until we draw someone up. Play action, we're going to be able to kill people underneath and on the intermediate level because of the threat of our running game this year. You look at the crazy thing about when you look at those numbers, guys, he did all that with no running game. He put up those play action numbers with zero threat of a running game. Think about this for a second. Zilch. No threat of the running. They don't have to respect the run. They don't have to even take a half false step towards your play action because they don't respect your run. And he put that up with no run game. With guys that couldn't create in the backfield, with guys that couldn't create after contact until Duke Johnson came along at the end of the season. That's what's kind of crazy about when you break that down. So, I mean, let's be honest here. Let's be honest here for 1 second. That's crazy. Like, I mean, it's actually mind baffling. And I see Topher, you're trying to throw the RPO in that. Is it really that misleading? Because I think you're forgetting how much RPO teams like Kansas City and Green Bay ran, my friend, which I talked about in my last show, if you don't remember. So even still, again, threat of no run game. You're running a run pass option. The first letter literally stands for run, and we have no threat with our run. Hence why Waddle was constantly in box coverage, why he was in triangle coverage, why he was bracketed, and Tua was having to make throws into that space. Because we had zero threat of a run. None. I mean, listen, we only ran the RPO 1.6% more than the Pittsburgh Steelers. We ran RPO at 13% of our plays. Pittsburgh 11.4, Green Bay 10.5, Kansas City 10.4. And yet much better play action numbers than Ben Roethlisberger. You know? So again, yes, we ran the most RPO, but not by this like drastic, huge, like 10%, 20% more here, right? So I'm just saying. Remember, that's one of his strengths, especially bootlegging. Bootlegging too has always been one of his strengths at this level. Always been one of their strengths. And you got to design an offense to the strengths, especially of your quarterback. Before we get into my big board, last little thing here. Interesting thing. I want to hear you guys' thoughts in the comment section while we're live, in the comment section after the fact that this does go live. Interesting title and topic of an article here from JoeyShotz. And it's, everyone wants Tua to prove it, which is fine, but what does that entail? So, according to football analysts on Get Up, NFL Live, SportsCenter, Good Morning Football, Undisputed Pro Football Talk, this is a prove it season for Tua. And yes, the Palm Beach Post too. They can't all be wrong, can they? No, they can't. And no, they're not. This storyline is fatiguing for sure, largely because it's being discussed so often. And we'll be discussing it for the next 5 months and longer too. The concept of proving it is largely vague, but yes, to some extent, we'll know if Tua Tagovailoa has proven what everyone hopes he will, if and when they see it. One can watch Tom Brady, Aaron Rodgers, Russell Wilson, Patrick Mahomes, Josh Allen, Deshaun Watson, Joe Burrow, etc., and without looking at the box scores or cumulative statistics, know what they are. Those quarterbacks have proven to be franchise quarterbacks. Those quarterbacks have proven to be elite athletes. Those quarterbacks are proven cornerstones. Well, guess what, buddy? First of all, are we talking about like elite players or elite athletes? Because Tom Brady's not an elite athlete. Okay. that the Dolphins explored Watson and to at least some extent Brady does tell you like Deshaun Watson's an elite athlete. Lamar Jackson's an elite athlete. Okay, that's an elite athlete. To the credit of Miami general manager Chris Greer, he did not fib or embellish when asked this offseason if Tua can be elite. I mean, I can't say he can't be, Greer said with candor. Greer added that Tua has won games and it's been a smaller sample size and that he's incredibly accurate, even though some question his downfield passing. See, again, his accuracy percentage was one of the highest in the NFL on downfield passing. The issue was the attempts. It wouldn't be surprising if Tua does not show improvement as a player and also flash improvement proof statistics under new head coach Mike McDaniel. It's harder to say with certainty if he'll look like the fifth pick in an NFL draft. Some in NFL circles wonder how high Tua's ceiling is, but he's just turned 24 years old. It's too soon to definitely conclude that there isn't more to give. Daniel is smart and brings a smart scheme, and he's smart enough to know that building to his confidence is essential to assisting Tua and the entire franchise. Also, like I tell all of y'all, Tua is a rhythmic passer. That's why you got to start off getting his rhythm going early on with short passes, intermediate passes, and then he'll start ripping it. The last coach compressed Tua, squeezing him to be a stronger leader, a stronger player, and in the end, the last coach did not think he was or would be good enough. Well, we'll all learn if the last coach was right. It's very easy to say what so many national analysts have said, that Tua must be better in his third season, that Tua is further removed from a serious hip injury, that Tua has Tyreek Hill and Terron Armstead, star talents, and that there are now no excuses. So everyone agrees, and honestly, Tua likely agrees too. Tua is likely to visit with local reporters in the near future, and he's likely to say something or other about how he holds himself to a certain level of expectations, and that he continue to work to become his best self. Good is never good enough, Tua said last fall, referencing how his father Gallo has always been his biggest critic. It's possible Gallo and Tua may have found new national analysts worthy of competing for the title of harshest critic. Which brings us to this. How can Tua meet expectations? How can Tua end 2022 with the conclusion that, yes, he proved it? What is make it, not break it? Well, how about this? Lead the Dolphins to the playoffs. The AFC is loaded, and most place the Dolphins on the outside looking in, playing all or almost all of Miami's games and leading Miami to the playoffs would make a big statement. I can agree with that. Emerge a strong leader. Tagovailoa was not a team captain 2021, but we all know he didn't put his name in the hat. Context. Expect that he will be in 2022. It doesn't matter so much if Tua did or did not want to be a captain last season. Either he didn't, is that good, or did he, but wasn't voted, is that good? Top 12 in passer rating. Again, what have I said? Top 12 play. This is not a be-all, end-all, but a reasonable goal. The Dolphins' backup quarterback, Teddy Bridgewater, was 12th in the league in passer rating last year. This is the target. Tua finished 19th last season. Top 12 in yards per attempt. Tua was tied for 23rd last season. He's got an improved offensive line, at least 4 key new weapons, including Hill. Jimmy Garoppolo was second in the NFL last season, operating the 49ers offense. If Tua Tagovailoa can hit on all 4 of these goals, 3 of them will be proven or disproven without dispute or discussion. He will have a very good chance to return in 2023. Now, there are some quarterbacks who perform quite well statistically. Garoppolo, Cousins, Tannehill, Goff, Derek Carr come to mind. Derek Carr is amazing. I don't know what Shad's talking about. And yet continue to be a lightning rod of continued discussion. Can they be elite? Are they actually elite? Can they win a Super Bowl? Well, I'll say this. Carr is the best of that group you named. Well, it is true that Garoppolo led the 49ers to Super Bowl, and he's about to be replaced after his successor was drafted last year. And it's true that Goff led the Rams to Super Bowl, and he's replaced by quarterback Stafford, who put the franchise over the top. And so, like so many other things in life, this is not and can never be black and white. One reality is that Tua is so popular among fans that it's possible most might suggest a quarterback proved enough in 2022, even if the organization disagrees. Tagovailoa can't spend the entire season worried about if Miami will end up using their 2 first-round picks in 2023 to draft a successor, and he likely won't. Tua has a healthy mindset and approach to football and life. Yes, he'll be motivated to perform well in 2023, but it won't be really because of things people say are right. In about 5 months, a true assessment will begin, and in about 9 months, we'll probably know. Did Tua make it or break it? Did he prove it? Be available, lead the team to wins, make smart decisions, but also make more downfield plays, and make some big plays outside the structure of the offense. Make big plays in big games. Put the Dolphins in position to be playing in big games, perhaps more than experts expect. If he lifts his teammates up, he'll lift the franchise up. We know it if we see it. We'll know it if we see it. Then the topic, bars, and talking points on ESPN and NFL Network and elsewhere will change forever. Listen, just give me top 12 play at the position. Everything else will fall in place if you give me that. That's what I've been saying the whole time, and I think we'll win a playoff game if he gives us top 12 play at that position. So I got total faith he can do it. It's just got to come together. The tape will show us has he become better at consistently reading all three levels. The tape will show us, is he making the proper predetermined reads when he has to. The tape will show us all these things. Are his mechanics becoming more consistent in the pocket? The tape will show us all these things. Tape never lies, man. So we'll see. And personally, for me, if you give me top 12 play and a playoff win, we're ready to go. And I don't think top 12 play is far-fetched because that 3.5, 4-game stretch in November, he gave us top 15 play. So you did that with less personnel on the staff and on the team that was complementary to your skill set than we have right now. Okay, you didn't have Darrell Bevell, didn't have Tyreek Hill, didn't have Cedric Wilson. All right, you didn't have Chase Edmonds, Raheem Mostert, Terron Armstead, Connor Williams. You have that now. So, and I think he can do it, man. Like I've said, I've never called to a franchise quarterback yet, but I've said he's shown that if you invest in him, he may give you the franchise quarterback. Well, they invested into him. So now it's about him showing that he can give you the franchise quarterback. The second part, he's shown that if you invest in him, he could be that franchise quarterback. So now they did the first half. They invested. So now we're about to find the answer of, could he be the franchise quarterback for this team? And I think he can be. It's just all got to come together. All right, guys, let's get into my big board for centers. Again, I did 10. I'm not a fan of this class. We'll get into it. And I got some explanations to start all this off too. So let's get this rolling for y'all. All right. So let's get this loaded up and started. All right. So we're going to start obviously at number 10, work our way up as usual. When we get to the top 5, we'll have all 22 for the top 5 guys. And there's going to be some players where I have them at, like one specifically, I have snaps for Donovan West at left guard, right guard, and center, but I'll direct you guys where to watch when the clips are rolling. So let's start this off. All right. Let's start off at number 10. Let's start off with, let's start off here. First of all, I got Cole Strange, Dylan Parham, and Zion Johnson. They're guards for me. I do not have them as center, okay? Cole Strange and Zion Johnson, they played guard in college. They played center at the Senior Bowl, okay? So I got them at guard. FYI. I want everyone to know Cole Strange, Dylan Parham, and Zion Johnson are guards for me. I do not have them listed as centers. Now, continuing. Starting with Dawson Deaton from Texas Tech. I think his best fit is center, but he has also played left tackle and guard. Strong hands, good pop in them, consistently good placement, pretty good lateral movement, agility, quick feet for an interior guy, helps him being a strong puller. Strong run blocker with good drive, okay, and pass pro. Anchor and overall play strength needs to be better for him to start on the interior at the next level, in my opinion. Number 9, I got James Empey from BYU. As far as zone, he's a perfect fit for an outside zone. He's a smart player, good football IQ, IDs blitzers fairly well. Good contact balance and strong hands with good placement to match. Displays pretty good footwork, quick, never overlapping his steps or crossing his feet. Doesn't drive with a lot of power because he doesn't possess a ton. It needs to strengthen up big time, I think, at the next level. Play strength will be an issue. Luke Wattenberg, a guy who you've seen, people have had him at guard, tackle, wherever. I've seen people have him listed at right tackle. I have him as center. Looks like he's gliding with ease when he moves laterally. Displays good contact balance, though don't expect a ton of drive forward or push on his end. Dependable. If availability is the best ability, he checks that box. He actually holds his school record at Washington for consecutive starts. Good agile athlete who also has good hands with consistently good placement on defenders' pads. Play strength definitely needs to improve. Like I said, he needs to get more drive and push to his game to be a starter at the next level or to have a chance to. Zach Tom, Wake Forest. I got him at 7 here. Really strong in pass pro, who is one of the smoothest lateral movers in this class. Strong punch, shoots his hands into defenders' pads well, and in the blink of an eye. Overall impressive and consistent hand placement from Tom on tape. Pretty versatile. Like I said, can play left tackle or center. I think at the next level, center is probably ideal for him. Explosive inside a phone booth. And what I mean by that is he got a very quick step out of his stance, and just in the short area, he just pops out of his stance. Like everyone else, play strength is an issue, needs to improve, and especially for a man his size. Now my number 6 guy here for me is Nick Ford out of Utah. Again, a versatile player. He can play guard or center. I believe he played both guard positions, if I remember correctly. Powerful punch, violent hands, quick to shoot him with good placement, shows power with good drive in the run game. Good balance, consistently plays well with a good pad level. His feet are a little slow, needs to keep them from crossing, when he's while he's trying to align them with the rest of his body, because he just doesn't mirror his feet with his body very well at all. So, he kind of does have overlapping steps, crosses his feet, stuff he needs to clean up in the footwork. All right, now let's get into my top 5 here. Start off with number 5, Alec Lindstrom out of Boston College, arguably one of the best lateral movers in this class when you watch him on film. High football IQ, IDs blitzers pretty well with no issues, makes good reads pre-play, constant communicator. You can see him at center here, 72. Good punch, strong hands, shoots them quick with ease, showing good timing and placement with them as well. Squares defenders up well, doesn't show much issues against bull rushers or on any back down at the point of attack with good balance. Perfect outside zone fit and really excels in run blocking. Can climb to the second level well, pulls well too. Loves the physical side of the game, looks to finish off every block when he gets a chance. Can long snap just as well as he snaps with the QB on the center or playing the gun. Play strength, honestly, that's an issue for him. It's just really okay. Another thing for him too is, man, he's only 6'3". He's under 300 pounds. He's really a little undersized at the next level. But, when he's going to be moving and pulling in this scheme, he might be undersized for a gap scheme, but I think he's fine if they want to execute him in a outside zone scheme. And like I said, I think this is going to be a target of them in the draft. Number 4, a guy, he's a man crush of mine. Shout out to Florida Born. I know he's in the comments. I absolutely love Luke Fortner, and I get to show you guys some Will Levis footage, the quarterback that I love from Kentucky behind him. So, yeah, I'm a absolutely huge Luke Fortner fan. Honestly, him and the next guy at 3 I'm about to show you became actually my 2 biggest draft crushes at this position. And what I love about Luke Fortner is a lot of things. First, he can play both guard positions or center, as he played guards for his first 2 years at Kentucky and center in his last. Good size, length, and play strength with upper body torque for the position. With a frame that can add even more weight, I think he moves really well for a 6'4", 307-pound frame. Really good contact balance. Watch him, number 79 here, always the center. Recovering ability, seals his blocks off really well, moves his landmarks with ease when you watch him. How good he was at moving to center from guard with complete ease should tell you how high his football smarts and IQ really are. Strong, wide base when he plays, sinks his hips, has a strong anchor, strong leadership qualities shown by not only his captaincy at Kentucky, but also his ability to communicate to the line, make proper adjustments, and really be the anchor of the offense up front. Punch is strong, like his hands overall, clamps them down on defenders like vice grips when he shoots them into pads. Lateral quickness is adequate enough for the next level, won't jump off the screen at you. Pad level can be an issue sometimes with him. He can get a little high and lose a leverage battle due to that. Just needs to keep his legs turning, doesn't drive back at times for a lack of upper body strength. It's more of a lower body issue. It just keeps the leg driving and churning. Sometimes he can let the motor on the legs die out. But overall, just an impressive player. I really like Luke Fortner. I think he'd be a beautiful fit in this outside zone scheme. Look at him just clear that, seal that guy off right there to create that lane. He is just, I really love his tape. My next draft crush in this class, my two in this center class, is Cam Jurgens. I think Cam Jurgens, man, another guy who the growth he's done in the last couple of years, it's really something to watch. And again, another perfect fit for the outside zone scheme McDaniel wants to run, because he ran similar scheme in Nebraska, and they also ran a ton of RPO at Nebraska when he was there. So he totally fits what this team is looking to do. Really good athlete, played tight end before moving inside, has no problem pulling, climbing to the second level, or playing in space at all. Great lateral quickness. Plays really well through contact for a guy that's 303 pounds. He really plays bigger and stronger than his size indicates. Good strong punch, really good hands and eyes that he mirrors well with his feet. Keeping them aligned and with strong technique. Latches on defenders and doesn't let go, gives 110% effort, whether he has to drive through a defender or move the defender. Good anchor, sinks his hips, sets his feet, holds them firmly, consistently. Good leader, will play through injuries and only missed one game over the last 3 years. Also a great pre-snap communicator. Might be one of the quickest and most explosive off the snap out of any center in this class. And that's actually a recurring theme as we get into the top three. Gets caught holding a little too much for my liking. A little laundry gets thrown against him. And he can sometimes, a big thing for him is sometimes he's just looking for that big blow instead of just squaring up, taking that block head on and finishing his man. And that can cause him to whiff. And, he's got to know, man, just square the man up, take him on, finish it off. You don't always got to put a guy on his ass. And, but he'll learn that when he gets to the next level, just picking away. Look at him clear here. Look at him just take his man out. Look at him and just fight him into the end zone. You're going to see the angle here. Watch. Jurgens pulls out right here, just fights his man off. You see him to the left. Look at him, just keep fighting him into the end zone. Look at him, mean. Love it. Number 2 for me is actually Donovan West. Everyone knows I'm a huge fan of Rachaad White. I like watching Jaden Daniels at the collegiate level. So I've watched quite a bit of Donovan West, whether he was at right guard, left guard, or center, which is what he played. And what you're going to see him here is you're going to see him. He's playing left guard on these first 2 snaps, right guard on the next 2 snaps. So you got right guard right here. And then he's going to be left guard for the next 2 snaps. And then he's going to be at center for the finality of this. But vice grip hands, just follow 61. Once he shoots them into defenders' pads, he's looked up. Once he shoots his hands into defenders' pads, they are locked up like Akon and Styles P. If Jurgens is the most explosive and quickest off the snap, West is right there with him, as is Linderbaum. Really good agility and lateral movement ability, and is perfect for an outside zone fit. Strong run blocker who moves bodies, pretty good in pass pro. Also super versatile, like I mentioned, played right guard, left guard, center. sinks his hips, bends his knees, gets good drive with his legs, helping him get a good push and leverage at the point of attack. Climbs well, strong puller, and his agility really shows as he's a great worker in open space. Quick feet, good upper body torque, consistently good hand placement have helped him. He hasn't committed one holding penalty, whether he's been a guard or center, during his whole collegiate career. Fundamentally, he keeps a good wide base consistently. Size might be an issue at the next level, though he bulked up from 296 at the combine to 309 at his pro day. But how much of that was water weight? And, he can struggle with pad issues, at times with longer defenders. So he's going to have to clean that up. But look at him here. He's just going to clean this. Watch. Look at that. Seals him off. All right. Now, Tyler Linderbaum. I mean, this is pretty obvious. The guy's an absolute stud. Dude, this guy is so mean. I wish we got Tyreek Hill and we're able to keep that 29th pick, man. Oh, I would love Tyler Linderbaum. He always plays at a good pad level, allowing him to uproot defenders pretty easily. Bends his knees, sinks his hips, sets a strong anchor, which is also the best in this class. And with his upper body torque and leg drive, he gets great push in the leverage battle, usually winning it. He's just as explosive and quick as Wester Jurgens off the snap. He's a former wrestler who famously beat Tristan Wirfs. So that tells you he can win trench battles at 6'2", 296. And it really showed with his big, powerful mitts, as he's another guy who, when he shoots his hand into a defender's pads, he's latched on for good. High football IQ, vocal leader with high recognition abilities, can ID blitzers, shift the line, pick up stunts, anything you ask of him. Best puller in this class as well. The smoothest climber in this class to the second level. And that just matches the fluidity with his lateral movement ability. Whether in pass pro or run blocking, Linderbaum is an absolute dog. Looks to finish off every block through the whistle. His competitive level is absolutely elite. Linderbaum is so polished, I might even consider him one of the safest picks in this draft. I think he's a future all-pro at the NFL level without a shadow of a doubt. Only injuries, I think, can stop that. Again, like so many have mentioned, he's perfect for the outside zone scheme McDaniel wants to run, but obviously he'll be long gone by 102. Really, my only issue is the question of size at the next level. Other than that, there is not really many holes to his game. And again, I don't really hold the size issue against him. I think his size is perfect for what we want to run. But I mean, you look at him help right there and just flatten the interior of the defender. He is just a mean customer, and I love him. And you look at him here, take on two men, chip the first, seal the other guy. I'm sorry. I am just a huge fan of Tyler Linderbaum. He would be so perfect for what we want to do offensively. I think he's better than Creed Humphrey. I think he's going to be the best center in the last 3 years. I think he's better than Cesar Ruiz. I think he is the best center we've seen maybe since Eric McCoy. So coming out in the draft, I love Tyler Linderbaum. He'd be absolutely perfect for what we want to do, but obviously it's a pipe dream. It ain't gonna happen. It is what it is. Anyways, guys, listen, here's the deal. Tomorrow night, I'm gonna be joined by Ryan Roberts of Rise and Draft. We're going to drive in to the offseason moves and the draft class. Same thing I did with Dante Collinelli. We're going to do with one of the best in the business. Ryan Roberts is going to be on. We're going to be live at 8 p.m. Eastern tomorrow night. You're not going to want to miss that episode, man. I'm telling you right now. He was great last year. He was on some of the draft coverage. We had him on the show before. So make sure you do not miss it. So, guys, I will be back tomorrow night at 8 o'clock. Until then, I appreciate each and every one of you. I hope your Easter was absolutely fantastic. I hope all of you are happy, healthy, safe, and blessed. Again, smash that like button. Share this video. These are the videos that get demonetized, and a ton of work goes into them. So go ahead, share it, watch it over and over again, get to know the center class a little bit. Listen, I think Alec Lindstrom is a definite possibility. I think any of those guys in the top 7 are a possibility. So go check it out. Watch it again. Look over the film. Tell me what you see, man. And there's also broadcast footage available for all those guys too, if you don't have the all 22. So listen, I appreciate each and every one of you for coming out. I will see all of y'all tomorrow night, 8 p.m. Eastern, with Ryan Roberts. And y'all know what time it is. Fins up all day, every day, baby.